So now I've opened up Unreal Engine, and I also have source tree here in the background. The thing to notice here is there is a way we have to be thinking a little bit differently than normally when working like this. That means that we normally can't just go in and just make 1 week worth of changes to the world and then we just try to commit it. We have to be a little bit more organized than that. So I'm just gonna go in here and just make a very simple example. So I'm in the content browser here, and under just the blueprints here, I'm going to make a new blueprint class, and I'm gonna make it be an actor, and I'm gonna do BP underscore source control example actor. Here we go. So now I've created a new actor here, and what happens when this actor gets created is that if we go back into source control, nothing has changed here, even though it's trying to tell me. Basically what has happened is that so the Git system has picked up that there is a change. So I like to go to file status here, and here we can see that the source control example actor file that was created on my hard drive when I made the blueprint is here. It has a question mark, which just means that it's not tracked, and that means that it's a new file, and Git does not know what to do with it. So and when we're working, if we're happy with this change here, we wanted to make this change to the project that is adding this actor to it. What we do is I just created it here inside of the editor. I'm going to go into source control. I'm going to go to file status. This is where I like to do it. I'm going to drag this file up here into the staged files category. So unstaged files just means that all of the files that are changed that you may be working on. But if you drag it up here to staged files, that means that you're preparing to make a commit. So I'm gonna let's just for fun, I'm going to make another. So here I have another component next to it. It's called weather control. I'm going to go into that, and I'm going to say, let's see, it's on the other screen here. I'm just going to add a print note, and this is not going to go into the game. It's just for an example. So weather is awesome, yo. Here we go. So now I'm just going to compile and save. And what happens is that now I made a change to an already existing file. So go back over to source tree, and now it picks up the weather control component that I just made a change to, and it's orange, which tells me that I'm making a change to an already existing object. I can even go in here, right click, and do a log selected, and I can see these are the changes that have happened before. Visual range to the control unit was the first one. Removing print statements. Okay, so I'm adding print statements in again. But here you can see that if I take this back down here to staged, is that the changes that I've made to the project now is I added a new actor called source control example actor, and I've made a change to one of the blueprints here. So if I jump over to source control again, the change that I actually care about in this example is the new actor. So I'm going to drag it up here, and now I have one actor staged, which means it's being prepared to become a commit. So and that just tells me what files are going to be inside of this commit. I can go here to the bottom, and I'm going to write a description that's going to go into the history, and my description is going to be adding an example actor to the to source control for video example. Okay, and then here on the right I have this commit button, and when I press the commit button, that means that I've made a commit. So I made like a little package saying that here is a change that I'm happy with, and this is a change that I'm ready to put into the actual project. So I'm going to go into the history. You can see that there's a little arrow here with 1, which means that I have 1 commit here on that I have ready. So this commit button here, it's a little bit confusing. Like that is not the same thing. So the reason why there is 1 here is because we have 1 file here that we are ready to commit, but this is not. It's just annoying UI. So you can see the arrow here. I'm going to go into the history. And now you can see that we have added this object here, this commit, this thing here into the history itself. But you can see this little arrow 1, which means that it has not been pushed. So it only exists on my computer, at least for now. And then there's like a whole bunch of tricks and tools and methods that you can do with it if you wanted to back out of this, like that's fine, and do things like that. So just to go a whole circle, I'm then going to say, okay, so I'm happy with adding this example actor to source control. So I'm going to push it. So I just press the push button. We can leave these settings on the default for now. And when I do push, what happens is that you can see that it's uploading the object and just giving a bunch of info. It shows us we don't have the message here anymore, and we've actually made a modification or made a change to the actual project. And the next time someone comes in and wants to is going to start working, they're going to have to do fetch. Fetch is going to tell them that there are new changes, and they are going to have to pull into their project. So they're going to download this change into their own projects, and then they can continue to work. So just to end this a little bit, so I really don't want to make this change, add the print statement into the weather control. So what I can do here is I can right click on this file and I can do discard. And what discard does is that it just moves the file back to the last point in the history. So normally I don't check what's in the history. I just know that I made a change to this file that I'm not happy with, so I just right click and do discard. But the problem is that Unreal Engine is still running, and it's going to give me an error if I try to discard the file when Unreal is running. So the only thing that I can do is I can just close down Unreal. It's asking me if I want to change the lighting. I'm just going to say, yeah, I'm going to just accidentally say yes. So I just made accidentally changed the lighting. And then when I'm checking my the file status, is telling me that I've made a modification on the weather control and the mood. And I have to think, okay, so I didn't make any changes to the mood. I definitely, like I was just doing some tests for the weather control, and I just want these changes to go back to normal. So I'll just select both of these, right click and do discard. Yes. So that's annoying. Here we go. Let's see. So it discarded one of the files, but I got an error for the other one, and I'm not really sure why. Yeah, all right. So I got an error for the other one because I did this a little bit too fast. So Unreal was still kind of closing itself down. So it was really keeping a strong grasp on the file, and that sometimes happens. So yeah, that's a pretty basic overview of how to use source control and how we work on this. And yeah.